coexisting at the same time. Coexisting. And from there, that's sort of the pattern that sort of evolved in Canada. We grew as a service country. But there are, at the same time, back when animation was in its infancy in North America, names to know are people like Raoul Barre. Raoul Barre was an exporter of ours down to New York, and he worked on all like the old Felix the Cat cartoons, all like that. He basically created X sheets as we know them, I think, or storyboards, that kind of stuff. He was instrumental in all that. And these are names that, yeah, they're not the Walt Disneys of the world, but these are Canadians who had a really huge impact on how this industry and this community grew. We then hit a period where we became a service destination. And that really defined the Canadian industry. In the 70s, Nelvana creating things like Cosmic Christmas. And they started out in a very different vein, and then moved into a really phenomenal business model in the late 80s and early 90s. But we became a service destination. And part of that's been absolutely amazing for our industry, and part of it's actually, I believe, has also crippled us tremendously. Today, things are changing a little bit again. Service has gone up and down, up and down. The playing field internationally is leveling. And we can grumble about that an awful lot when stuff goes elsewhere, but that's how we got out in the first place. So I think it's a little unfair for us to complain too much when India starts picking up service work. But with new technologies today, content is becoming more and more and more important. We got a couple examples how individual animators are now leaving their mark on the industry in ways they couldn't before. I use this example all the time right now. We've got this girl in Ottawa named Jess Barutsky. Jess is probably 26. She was an Algonquin grad. She worked for John Cristofalusi on Ren and Stimpy, later Ren and Stimpy. Just made a film. Jess is a phenomenal talent, tremendous designer. She made a film years ago, and it made the rounds online. And somebody at Warner Brothers saw it and liked it. And she one day opened up her email to find what she thought was a joke from, I believe, Lou Romano, producer at Warner Brothers, saying, "Hey, I like your stuff. How would you like to redesign Bugs Bunny?" So she said, "Sure." And 2 days later, she heard back. Jess now works from her apartment overlooking the Rideau Canal 3 days a week for Warner Brothers, redesigning Bugs Bunny. It's because she had a film. She put it online. John Kay liked it, so he talked about it on his site. People saw it. She was able to sell herself in ways that was absolutely impossible before today. And she's, of course, now taking a lot of shit from the fan community for redesigning Bugs Bunny, because God forbid you should actually touch that kind of iconic character. But I think it's in the best hands it possibly could be at this point. Someone was going to do it, and they got this great girl who really had respect for the characters and came at it from the right perspective. So things are changing, and I tend to focus on the little guys an awful lot because they don't get a ton of exposure. I'm going to show a couple of films right now. Not as many as I sometimes do, but we'll get a couple of here so you can see kind of what I see going on and what potentially is changing the industry a little bit here in the community here in Canada. And sorry, this is me, Animation Resources. I run also there's a showcase page, which if you want to see some cartoons, I haven't been able to expand it the way I want to yet, but they're up there. There you go, a little plug. My advertisements. Where's the showcase? This, if you haven't, I won't show that one today, but anything I find, at this point I can only put stuff up that I can embed from elsewhere. So if it's on YouTube, you have a great little film, send it my way, I can try to get it seen. But I will start with, and I can't help but share this with people. I work with, there's Justice Storm. I work a lot with a guy named Nick Cross, and I can't help myself but show off his work. Yellow Cake. Nick is an independent animator who does storyboards on Babar during the day. And like 1,000 people I know, Nick's always got an idea for a film, but between Nick and everybody else, Nick actually makes them. He's got about 7 films under his belt in the last 10 years, which may not sound like a ton, but I know 1,000 people who are still working on that very one. So start with this one here, Valiquette. Haven't seen it. How are we on sound here? Yeah.